Coming up, another card reveal for KARDS Allegiance. Stay tuned. Greetings and welcome. I am Gamer Mengel and this is KARDS, the World War II collectible card game. KARDS is bringing out the new expansion December the 10th, Allegiance. 150 new cards, 2 new ally nations, some new keywords, game mechanics, 150 new cards. That being said, a second time, I will be presenting one of those said cards shortly in my sneak peek reveal, if you will. Coming up shortly. Before we do that, however, they've got a new expansion card pack special with a special Allegiance card pack available. So be sure to support this game if you are in that position. I'm not being coerced or paid anything in that manner. This is my own personal feeling, opinion. This game does not have a greedy business model at all. They've got awesome artwork, awesome theme, awesome setting, awesome mechanics. I mean, awesome. How many times can I say awesome? This is a very good game. I thoroughly enjoy it. So be sure to support this game. If you have missed any of the other previous card reveals, be sure to check out Cybernetic's and Spooz's card reveals and their thoughts on the cards they revealed. I'll have the 2 links available down in the comments as well as in my video description box. If you haven't seen the cards revealed by KARDS themselves, the game, the developers, on Steam, I'll have this link that we are viewing now currently down in the description area available as well. So be sure to go have a look for yourself and their thought regarding those cards. All that being said, let's jump over and let's have a look at another card reveal. The very last thing I want to mention before the reveal, stay tuned, it's coming up, I promise, is I placed a little teaser on the Discord KARDS general channel, and it was actually very fun to see the community members trying to figure out what the card was. Obviously it was pointed out that we didn't hide the faction the card belongs to, and then obviously the people kind of took that it's an expense. They did notice that the card's costs are more expensive, so it was very fun to see the guys trying to figure out the card. And I must honestly say, this is a dedicated community. The guys are very good. They actually were fairly accurate with their guessings. And all that being said, if you're ready, wait for it. There you have it. USA order card, 10 cost, strategic planning, double the attack and the defense of your units. It is elite. Wow, this is fun stuff. I am so excited about this card. I feel honored to be able to reveal this card. First off, the artwork. It was created during World War II, obviously, 1943. It is according to the Declaration of the United Nations of 1942. The United States Government Printing Office made this artwork. The poster, it obviously features all the flags of the governments in exile that pledged their support to the Allied efforts. So from left to right, Haiti, Norway, Brazil, United States, Cuba, Dominican Republic, United Kingdom, Greece, Guatemala, South Africa, Czechoslovakia, China, Ethiopia, Luxembourg, Canada, Soviet Union, Belgium, Bolivia, Yugoslavia, Honduras, Panama, Iraq, India, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Australia, Philippines, Poland, Mexico, Netherlands, and New Zealand. Above the ongoing war machine that the United Nations represented. Fun fact, the absence of the Free French flag, it's quite unusual. This poster is important because it represents the origins of the United Nations as a wartime alliance before it was a concrete organization. So there you have it, the artwork. Next up, let's chat about the historic reference. I mean, I guess I kind of covered that as well. It's basically, this was the origins of the United Nations, and this was a propaganda poster the United States government printing office designed. And because of this, we basically have the United Nations nowadays. And then stats of this card: double the attack and the defense of your units. I want to know your thoughts. Put your thoughts in my comments. I'll tell you what I'm thinking, the features, what one can do with this card, but I want to know your thoughts. Put it down in the comments. I want to read your thoughts. Looking at the artwork, if you jump over to the Wikipedia, I'll have the link available in the wiki as well regarding the description and the artwork of this poster, the artwork from the card. You can clearly see that it's been a bit cropped for KARDS, and the original propaganda poster has got United at the top of the poster with the American flag, Brazil, Norway and Haiti. It's unfortunately been a bit cropped for in KARDS nonetheless, and also the United Nations fight for freedom. So my thoughts on this poster: you've got the Air Forces, you've got the Navy, and then you've got a bit of land at the bottom of the poster with the tanks mainly. I don't know if that's artillery behind the tanks, but it mostly looks like tanks. And this is the United War Machine. And it seems to me that they are heading over the English Channel towards mainland Europe. And that smoke, I guess that's smoke from Europe. And it captures the situation very nicely. I like the artwork, and this is a very fitting theme for KARDS, the card game. You know, the artwork, the what they're trying to capture, and what the card is in the game. You know, 10 cost, strategic planning, double the attack and the defenses of your units. Very thematic. I'm loving it. So I did mention the stats of the cards, but just once again, it's a US order card, 10 credit cost, strategic planning. It doubles the attack and the defenses of your units on the table. Forever! It doubles it! I mean, it's not just until the end of the turn. Alright, in-game. Bear with me, I'm going to try my very best. If you are still watching, I thank you for watching my thoughts on this said new card and potential decks. So, the obvious first choice is to ramp and to play with tokens. Now, the tricky part with tokens are they are usually 1/1s or fairly cheap. So what you want to do is you might want to play some USA cards to, that's not USA, there we go, to buff the tokens. So there's a lot of Russian USA token decks out there already. So obviously the Alliance, it's a staple to play on top of tokens. You've got your supply shipment if you're going to go offensive, and then you've got your cadet nurses plus 1/1. Unity is strength, very good, especially if you're going token. I'm not gonna, for the newer players, I'm guessing a majority of my audience know card games. If you are entirely new, do forgive me, I'll have new player tutorials in the future, but for now I'm just gonna state the terms. We can do it. I'm guessing you don't want to go too much on the defensive side, so you'll probably end up going with Unity Strength 3 copies, the Alliance 2 copies, and you know, maybe a supply shipment. And then what you're going to do is you're going to obviously have Awoken Giant and Gunship and various other means for card draw and to buff your tokens. And then on the Soviet Union side, you obviously want to have the reserves, and you want to try and get as many tokens out as quickly as possible. Frontal Assault, I mean, for the more mature cards players, I mean, I don't need to mention these things, you guys were probably already thinking it. Red October. So okay, now we need to balance between orders, countermeasure side. on USA. Maybe more of a defensive card, in my opinion. So then we've got the tokens out, and then that is basically the bulk of what I'm thinking, is just to have your tokens. Obviously we're going to need to ramp. Let's have a look at the American Engineer Regiment. Awesome candidate. Awesome. It's a 3-1. It's a 2-2. You play this card, it gives you the it's got the ramp built in, so immediately it gives you that +1 credit slot, and then you try and buff said card with your orders. So here's a few options. I'm probably thinking, if you want a bit of card draw, going for a rush, like a token deck, you'd probably not include more expensive units, but there is still nonetheless options if you need to have some card draw as well. You can look at the 7th Regiment, or probably a Woken Giant. It's just sometimes if your opponent is a British player and he basically just stays in his support line, this card is sometimes dead in your hand. Gun Submission, it's very good value. I love this card. It's good value. It's so good. Function, you play that card like almost every single game. I end up playing that card. So that's it on the American side. Obviously the Greyhound is also good stuff. It's cheap. It's a 1-3. It's another very good candidate. So that's on the first approach, to go for a ramp / token deck. I mean, I can show you the Russian Soviet cards, but I mean, you guys know these cards. I mean, if you're going to go for tokens, it's more or less on the screen over here. So that's the first way of thinking. So keeping in mind, I play for fun. I don't play to always win. And this is more or less what I'm thinking for my first deck with said card. Also keeping extra in mind that there's going to be more cards, so obviously this would change my initial thought. So Land of the Free, you'll see why I've got one. It's just awesome to pull it off. It's really like booyah if you can get that going. It's so nice. The Battalions, it's a 1-3. Woken Giant if you're going up against a burn rush deck. Hausiter, 1-3. 99th Infantry Battalion. I'm hoping that at some point I might be more offensive with this deck, so I'm wishful thinking. Infantry Regiment, you might even take some of these out and add more of them because you want to get your units stats up, the attack and damage. Attack and damage, attack and HP, attack and defense, attack and... you know what I'm saying, crazy me. Gunship Mission, staple, always include that. So this is where it gets funny. The theme is going to pick up now. Naval Support. Wildcat. So this is going to protect you against the British air bomber / aeroplane decks. Important. I believe that to make strategic planning work, you're gonna want to ramp. Definitely want to ramp that credit slots. Some removal. Personally, I've got mixed feelings about this card, but nonetheless, let's add it so you can keep... I wonder if this card can actually feature nicely in my strategic planning deck, because you can potentially heal your units and then give them a +1/1. If you go up against commander decks, this gives you the 1-4, so you've got your guard, which I rely on more on the Black Watch, and then obviously you want to make the enemy's orders more expensive. I've played this card a few times, and then the opponent playing GB would just quit. You just surrender. Just to have an elite in there. So you'll have your ambush and your blitz. Your ambush deal 2 damage to your target. So if you've got a commando in the defensive line, the support line, or if you have maybe, a Katusha or something, you can take them out with this card. This is more probably towards mid game. More towards mid game, and then war bonds. Now that I see this again, I probably should have added more war bonds, but yes, war bonds, you want to gain your credit slots, you want to ramp, and you get to draw an extra card the next turn. So more or less mid-game, if you hopefully have some board control, you can play War Bonds. And then the Churchill would be awesome. Thinking, remember we've got naval support. Where is naval support? Here it is. Change the attack on the target unit to be equal to its defense. So now you're making your units 6/6 unit. You played on one unit. And then the Royal West Kents. So you've got them hiding next to your guard cards. And then what they would do is they would basically, if somebody attack you and you haven't played naval support, this card, the Churchill, will deal 6 damage. I like it. We can do it. I included this one just to have the 3 defense on your units, and then maybe you can play after you played We Can Do It, you can play naval support later in the game. This is now probably heading towards mid to late game, and then you can also get yourselves the credit slot and draw a card. Staple. It's a 6/1 cost, 6 cost, 1 operation cost, 5/9. This card is such a pain in the butt. Very good card. I state it's a pain in the butt because once the opponent, or when I played, I can see they usually struggle to get rid of it. Especially if you played more towards mid to late game, because then they've used a lot of their removal cards, or they still need to look for those cards if they don't have it ready. And then you've got to have a expensive unit, at least one, and this is my one expensive unit, and that's why I've got Land of the Free. I want to totally play Land of the Free. 10 cost, put this down, Land of the Free, charge in with a piercing, brother. That is the thinking. And then obviously why am I on 38? Did I remove a card? And then 40, card 40, I removed an ally card. Card 40 would be the strategic planning. So I think my deck might be lacking card draw a little bit, but we've got the Awoken Giants, not to rely on that if you go up against the wrong opponent. For that reason, if I go up against an opponent playing more defensive, then I would probably just try and take the front line. So for that reason, I'll probably not have houses. I'm not a big artillery player, but I do see the benefit in playing with artillery. So I would probably take out an artillery. This was just a spur of the moment to reveal the card. I just put something together. So obviously this is not me finalizing it and tweaking it to its full extent. But just to show you guys, this is what I'm thinking. Some sort of deck I would like to play with the new card. So before I show you some of my last potential thoughts regarding decks with said card, this new card, Strategic Planning, just thinking, if you can pull it off towards late game, probably late game, yes. If you can play naval support on Grenadier Guards and then play strategic planning, I mean, what is that? That's 11 costs. You can have yourself a 18/18 guard. Hello. That would be so epic to pull it off, and I don't believe it would be too hard. You could probably add more naval supports. Where is it? I always keep losing it. There it is. You could probably add 4 copies, and then obviously, you've got your 2 copies of your Grenadier Guards, and then the strategic planning. So you've got this on the table. Pop down naval support, play your new epic strategic planning. Epic, elite, another one of my words. Do forgive me. Sorry, excusey. Play your elite strategic planning on top of the Grenadiers, and you've got yourself a 18/18. Booyah! Not as much last topic, just last note. Speculations on the changes of the meta. I believe that this card, it's definitely going to be in the meta, and I feel it's going to be a good addition, because this is not an easy card to pull off. The stars kind of need to align for you to play this card, and also in a deck of 40 cards, 39 excluding your HQ that's already on the table, you need to mill for this card. You need to go looking for this card. So it's going to be so cool to play it. you wanna have at least 2 units on the table, or ideally more. To go with a token rush deck, this is more towards mid late game, so there's going to be some interesting decks out there for sure. And I don't think this card is going to be bad for the community and for the game. I think this card is a good addition, and it's going to be fun to build a deck with this card. I'm thinking, I don't know if it's going to be a staple. I don't think it's going to be a staple, but I think we're going to see, hopefully, some more diverse decks coming out in the near future, and hopefully not just 1 or 2 meta decks that majority of the players play with. I personally want to hopefully craft this card as soon as possible. Obviously, we still want to see what's going to be available by December the 10th. All the cards. But so far, I love this card. I like the feel and the theme, and I think I'm going to have some good fun with this card. So, in my capacity regarding how much this is going to change the meta, honestly, not to be a downer, I don't personally think this card is going to be played by every single player. It's like your Commonwealth card for the British. Not a great deal of people play with that card, but however, that card is even more situational. This card is not as situational, and this card actually does a pretty boost to the attack and the defense of the units. So this will see more play than Commonwealth card. However, I don't know if it's going to be a staple for every single player, but it's definitely going to see a lot more playtime than Commonwealth, for instance. And it's a solid card. I feel it's a solid card. I think it's going to be in a few decks. It's probably going to not be in token decks as often, because I don't think token deck players wants to have 10 cost cards in their decks. But who knows? Maybe we'll see some ramp token type of decks, or decks with numerous units. But for me personally, I'm going to implement this into a guard deck and try and do a mid game type of thing. Hopefully not late game, because I want to out tempo my opponent. Mid game and ramp my credits, and then play this towards mid game. Probably if my opponent's on, say, anything between hopefully 8 credits max, I want to play this card. And hopefully have 1 or 2 solid units on the table to double the attack and the defenses. Yes, so those are my thoughts. That is my thoughts on the meta, what the meta is going to be like with this card. And then I don't have much more to say. I don't have much more speculations. So be sure to leave your comments down in my YouTube channel in the description area. Be sure to head over to KARDS Discord and to share with us your thoughts and opinions. This is a good card. I love it. As always, thank you for watching. Until next time, lekker dag and bye-bye.